I read that you were married to you were a liberal at one time, which is hard to believe, but maybe that's why you're such a good conservative, because I used to be a liberal as well, and God forgave me and I overcame it, and I'm a really fighter on the right. Um, you were married to an Indian lady or something?
She's American Indian. Yep. My kids are members of the Ho Chunk tribe. But my wife is like most women. They're not really political.
Uh-uh.
Like if you're really political, what should states' rights be with the Second Amendment? What's the capital gains tax? What do you think that should be? The H-1B visas. How many of those should we issue? That's what politics is, really. It's a bunch of numbers and accounting, and that women tend not to be interested in that. Most women's politics is just don't be mean, don't be in the Ku Klux Klan, and you're like, yeah, okay, we got that handled. I don't want Trayvon Martin to get killed if he's just going to buy Skittles. That's not what happened, but okay, yeah. We'll try to. I don't even know why they vote. So it doesn't really come up. Plus, when you're married, your political differences are totally irrelevant because you have these kids bonding
Yeah.
you. So it's like you're a baseball fan and you own the Mets. Well, now you're focused on the Mets, not who's a vegetarian and who's a meat eater. That's irrelevant. There's much bigger fish to fry.
That's right. What is a man?
A man?
Besides the physical part, we know that unless you had them taken off, you became a transgender. But what is a man?
A man stands his ground. A man is a handshake guy. A man, when he gives his word, people go, whoa. And they don't even need a contract after that because he's never gone back in his word. A man gets married, stands by his wife through thick and thin, is a disciplinarian in the home. And if that means the kids don't like him, that's fine. You can either be friends with them when you're young or friends with them when you're old. But the important thing for a man is to convey his legacy, to have kids, and then convey his legacy to his children. And a big part of your legacy is character. You know, money is fleeting, fame is irrelevant, but character is what counts. And I want my sons to go, oh my God, Dad shook his hand and said, you have my word to that guy. That means it's going down.
That's how it
no
was.
matter what.
That's how it was.
My
when I was
dad made
growing
a
up.
promise.
And what?
My dad makes a promise that's set in stone.
Yeah, it was like that when I was growing up. What is love?
Love is why we're here. We're here to procreate, and God has imbued us with this strange instinct that gets deeper and deeper. When you're with a woman, like when I'm with my wife, our marriage has evolved, and the love we have now is so much more intense because it's sort of a collage of all the previous versions of our marriage. It's the same with kids. Like you'll have a funny little 2-year-old who says funny things, and that 4-year-old doesn't even look like him when he was 2. And then when he's 10, you know, he likes basketball and stuff, and that's totally different. But you love him because you love all those iterations of your son. And I feel the same way with marriage, and that's the reason that we stick together is because of the kids and everything. But it's also this gift that God gave us, which is love, which is this perpetual motion machine that doesn't require gasoline to run this engine. It just runs. And when you say you hate someone, by the way, that means you think of them as much as you think of your wife. So you probably don't hate them unless you think about them 50 times a day.
Yeah.
But love is the grand force that keeps us all fighting, it keeps us all brave, it keeps us all alive, and it keeps us all reproducing and making families. That's what this is all about.
So are you a Christian?
I am a Catholic,
You're
yep.
Catholic. That's amazing.
Yeah, and that's new too. I grew up atheist. My parents are atheists. But when my daughter was born 14 years ago, I got sort of overwhelmed by this incredible miracle with her little lungs that work and her nose that looks like mine, and my toe is my big toe is kind of separate from my other toes, and that's what her foot looks like. And I was just so overwhelmed. I realized that this miracle is part of a bigger plan.
That's amazing, man. No wonder. No wonder you're so amazing.
I cry in church sometimes. I just get so overwhelmed by all the gifts that God gives us. And the fact that we have so many ingrates that can laugh at the universe and laugh at America and laugh at all the progress we've had and laugh at all the gifts we're given is just shocking. We're a bunch of spoiled brats.
Yeah. One last thing about that, and then I got to quickly put you on the hot seat. But before we go there, do you feel wounded at all on all the stuff you've gone through? I was watching some of your videos last night, and you've gone through a lot. I saw that you were thrown out of CPAC and all kind of stuff, and you end up staying at a hotel in the ghetto. And that was too funny, man. So from back then until this day, do you feel wounded? Or what is that feeling coming through all that?
Well, I don't mind fighting. I box every day. I go step in the ring, get punched in the face. If someone gets me good, I say good punch. It's part of my DNA. But when they attacked my family, that was another a new level of low, a new basement to dwell in. They did it in South Africa in 1800 with the British. They came down, and the Boers were winning against Churchill and the boys. And then they started burning down their homes and killing their wife and kids. And that's when the Boers threw in the towel and said, okay, you can have South Africa. But when the Brits did it to the Americans and they started burning down their homes, the Americans got more pissed off and eventually beat the English out. So it was definitely wounding me to see like my daughter's social life get affected and my wife be terrorized to the point that where she was delirious. My children not get invited to birthday parties and all this petty crap. That did wound me. It did piss me off. But unlike the Boers, it didn't make me want to throw in the towel. It was more like the Patriots, and it made me want to fight even more.
Right on.
So I'm wounded the way a bull is wounded when you throw a spear at him. I'm mad.
Right on, man.